Let us do a quick experiment. Imagine a Filipino breakfast with no rice, no coffee, no eggs, no banana, even no table to eat on. Wait, can we even call that a breakfast? That's because almost everything we use in our daily lives begins in just two places, a farm and a forest. Most people think that agriculture is just farming, and forestry is just simply cutting trees. But these two industries are the foundation of our daily lives. Without them, we wouldn't have enough food, many industries would stop operating, and millions of people would lose their livelihood. So today, let's explore why agriculture and forestry are so important, how they affect our environment, and most importantly, how we can make them more sustainable. Agriculture is the practice of growing crops and raising livestock. Forestry, on the other hand, is the management and conservation of forests and trees. These are among the oldest human activities, yet they remain some of the most essential today. Agriculture and forestry contribute so much to our daily lives. First is food security. Food security isn't just about having enough food. It means that everyone has access to safe, nutritious, and sufficient food at all times. For example, imagine the local market is full of food, but many families can't afford to buy it. Or imagine that we have plenty of rice today, but next month we worry of shortage because of an incoming typhoon damages the crops. That is why food security is about four key things: availability, access, utilization, and stability. Here in the Philippines, crops like rice, corn, are especially important because they are staple foods for millions of Filipinos. Aside from feeding people, agriculture and forestry also play a vital role in strengthening our economy. They provide valuable products such as rice, bananas, sugarcane, vegetables, coconuts, and many others that generate income for farmers, businesses, and the country as a whole. In many developing countries, agriculture provides employment for a significant portion of the population. But there's something even more interesting. Instead of exporting raw products, countries can create more jobs by processing them locally. For example, instead of simply selling coconuts, we can provide coconut oil, coconut milk, cocoa sugar, and other coconut-based products. This process is called adding value, and it allows countries to earn more while creating better-paying jobs. Agriculture and forestry are also major sources of raw materials. Agriculture provides cotton for clothing, abaca for ropes, rubber for tires, sugarcane for biofuels, and animal hides for leather. While forestry provides timber for house and furniture, lumber for construction, and wood pulp for paper. Now here's where things become a little more complicated. Agriculture gives us many benefits, but if it's done irresponsibly, it can also harm the environment. One major issue is land degradation. Land degradation means that the quality of land becomes poorer over time. One common cause is soil erosion. Imagine pouring water over loose soil on a hill, and the top layer gets washed away. The topsoil is actually the most fertile part of the land. It contains most nutrients that crops needs to grow. The sad part is that while topsoil can disappear after one just heavy rainy season, it may take hundreds of years to naturally form again. Another problem is nutrient depletion. If farmers continuously plant the same crop without replacing the nutrients removed from the soil, eventually the soil becomes less fertile. Although chemical fertilizers can temporarily solve this problem, relying on them too heavily may reduce long-term soil health and affect beneficial microorganisms living in the soil. Water quality can also suffer. When fertilizers and pesticides are washed into rivers and lakes, they carry excess nutrients into the water. This often causes a process called eutrophication. Algae begin growing rapidly, covering the surface of the water, and as they die and decompose, oxygen levels drop, making it difficult for fish and aquatic organisms to survive. Agriculture can also affect our forests. One major issue is deforestation. While agricultural expansion helps produce more food, it often comes comes at the cost of losing the forest. The consequences are serious. Wildlife loses its habitat, biodiversity decreases, soil erosion becomes more common, and because trees store carbon, cutting them down releases carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, contributing to climate change. And that's not it. Agriculture is both a contributor to climate change and one of its biggest victims. Livestock waste produce methane, and rice fields' nitrogen fertilizers release nitrous oxide. These greenhouse gases contribute to global warming. But climate change also fights back. Farmers experience stronger typhoons, longer droughts, heavier flooding, extreme heat, and unpredictable rainfall. These conditions reduce crop yields and making farming increasingly difficult. It's a cycle. Agriculture contributes to climate change, and climate change makes agriculture more challenging. So the big question is, can we continue producing food while protecting the environment? The answer is yes. And that's where sustainable agriculture and sustainable forestry come in. One is crop rotation. Instead of planting the same crop every season, farmers alternate different crops. This naturally restores soil nutrients, reduces pests, and minimizes soil erosion. Another is organic farming, which avoids synthetic fertilizers and pesticides while relying on natural methods to maintain soil fertility. Composting can also help by transforming organic waste into nutrient-rich fertilizer, reducing dependence on synthetic fertilizers. Efficient irrigation systems, also like drip irrigation, can deliver water directly to plant roots, thus minimizing water waste. And finally, there's agroforestry. This combines trees with crops or livestock on the same land. Trees can help prevent erosion, store carbon, improve biodiversity, and even provide farmers with additional sources of income. Before you click away, here's a thought. Agriculture and forestry provide the food that we eat, the jobs we depend on, and the resources we use every day. Our challenge is simple. Produce what we need while protecting the environment for future generations. So the next time you enjoy a simple breakfast, remember, it isn't just a meal. It's the result of our farmers, foresters, and the natural resources that sustains us all. Mabuhay!